Hi, this is Joey with our weekly Q&A. The antitrust rules in China are becoming dramatically stricter. We have received many follow-up questions from our audience after the last-minute failure of the Ant Group IPO. This week, our senior analyst Dennis Chin will help us to answer some of the questions. Question number 1. Assuming Ant Group is a matching agent, why does the government want it to get a financial institution license and fulfill certain capital requirements?
The Chinese central government is determined to never repeat the mistake of the US, particularly with respect to the subprime mortgage sector. Mistake that ultimately led to the global financial crisis. When we look back at the original cause of the global financial crisis, it is clear that it was mainly due to moral hazard. The company that provided credit to the home buyer did not take the risk on their own books, but instead passed it on to investment bank that repackaged the loan and sold them to investors. As a result, the credit provider were only focusing on credit growth to maximize their fee, but did not care about credit quality. When the system eventually failed, the whole world suffered. So people asked, why should the public or the government have to bear the ultimate risk when profits are privatized? Whoever provides a credit should also carry the credit risk. Just repackaging into another financial product and passing on the risk isn't a sustainable way to grow. When looking at the business model of Ant Group, the Chinese government was alarmed by the similarities and therefore wants to make sure that the lending process is treated as a whole. This means lending and taking the credit risk have to come out of the same entity, which means you have to eat what you cook. In addition, the government set up a number of requirements with regard to lending in order to avoid over-leverage and to prevent complex products that don't generate any added value for the consumer.
Another frequent question is about the attitude of the Chinese government on antitrust rules. How will the leading internet platforms such as Alibaba and Meituan end up, and when?
First of all, the Chinese government appreciates the overall economic growth that has been created by the privately owned enterprise. Private enterprise will remain the growth engine of the Chinese economy. On the other hand, the Chinese government is angry and seriously disappointed with some of these private enterprises, specifically the internet platform, that did not use the freedom and trust given to them by the government to make the pie bigger, but instead have just tried to push traditional offline players or smaller players out of the market, hiding behind phrases such as innovations or other fancy words. That's why the antitrust rules are being introduced. We see similar developments in Europe, where the European Commission has started antitrust investigation against Amazon in November 2020. So, when we look at individual companies, we have to emphasize on value creation. Those who are just trying to control the market without making the pie bigger will continue to experience harsh treatment by the antitrust regulators until they lose their market dominating and distorting position and fair competition has been reestablished.
That's it for today. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned with us. Thank you and see you again next time.